The phone buzzed on the nightstand like a hornet trapped in glass, its vibration rattling through the silence of our empty bedroom. I snatched it up, heart already pounding from the late hour, 11:47 p.m., and there it was, her text glowing in the dim light. Late dinner with clients. Don't wait up. Love you. My thumb hovered over the reply, but something in the air felt wrong, thick with a metallic tang of suspicion I'd been swallowing for weeks. Then, as if my fingers moved on their own, I typed, "Tell Chris I want my shirt back. Send." The words hung there, irrevocable, a grenade lobbed into the void. My chest tightened, breath shallow, as the 3 dots appeared. Her typing, then stopping, typing again. No response came. Just the echo of my own pulse, hammering like a verdict. I sank onto the edge of the bed, the mattress creaking under my weight, the cool sheets rumpled from where she'd lain that morning. Her perfume still lingering faintly on the pillow. Jasmine and deceit. How had it come to this? Mark and Elena, the couple everyone envied. High school sweethearts turned power duo, him the steady architect, her the ambitious marketing exec climbing the corporate ladder. 15 years, a cozy suburban house with a white picket fence that mocked me now, 2 kids asleep down the hall. Lily 8 with her mother's curls, Tommy 5 with my stubborn jaw. But lately, the late nights had piled up like unpaid bills, her phone glued to her hand, passwords changed without explanation. And Chris, fucking Chris Harlan, her colleague, the slick sales guy with the gym body and the perpetual smirk. I'd lent him that shirt last summer at the company barbecue. A stupid blue button-down I'd forgotten about until I found a receipt in her purse for a hotel room downtown, time-stamped during one of her client dinners. Anger surged first, hot and blinding, making my vision blur as I paced the room, floorboards groaning under my bare feet. I wanted to smash something, the framed photo on the dresser, us smiling on our Hawaiian honeymoon, her head on my shoulder, eyes full of promise. But humiliation followed, a cold wave crashing over me, drowning the rage and shame. How many people knew? Her friends. His. Was I the pathetic husband, blind and oblivious, while they laughed behind my back? I imagined them together, her laughter tinkling like wine glasses in some dimly lit restaurant. His hand on her thigh under the table. Heartbreak clawed at my throat, raw and unrelenting, memories flashing. Her whispering forever on our wedding night, the way she'd curl into me during thunderstorms, vulnerable and mine. Now resentment brewed, thick as tar, sticking to every thought. She owed me this life we'd built. How dare she shatter it for a fling? Denial whispered in the quiet moments, as I sat in the dark kitchen nursing a whiskey, the amber liquid burning down my throat, the ice clinking softly against the glass. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe the shirt was just a coincidence, the hotel a business meeting. But doubt gnawed deeper. Why no reply? Why the sudden trips? The new lingerie I'd found hidden in her drawer. I scrolled through our texts, months of mundane affection turning sinister in hindsight. Miss you during her overtime. Heart emojis that now felt like knives. Obsession took root, my mind spinning fantasies of confrontation. Storming into that restaurant, flipping tables, exposing them in a blaze of righteous fury. But guilt crept in too, unbidden. Had I driven her away? The long hours at my firm, the arguments over money, my growing distance as the kids demanded more. Was I the villain here, neglectful and cold? By 2 a.m., the house was a tomb, the refrigerator humming its indifferent lullaby. I couldn't sleep, so I drove, tires hissing on rain-slicked streets, headlights cutting through the fog like accusations. Downtown loomed, neon signs bleeding red and blue onto wet pavement, the city alive with secrets. I parked outside her office building, engine idling, watching shadows flit behind lit windows. Was she there? Or in some hotel bed, tangled with him? The thought fueled a cold resolve, crystallizing in my chest like frost on glass. Revenge. Not impulsive, not messy. Something calculated, surgical, that would make her feel the same gut-wrenching betrayal. But what? Divorce papers. Exposing her affair to her boss. Or something darker, twisting the knife slowly. Morning broke gray and unforgiving, the kids' laughter pulling me from a fitful doze on the couch. Elena slipped in at dawn, makeup smudged, eyes avoiding mine as she kissed their foreheads. "Rough night?" I asked, voice steady, though my hands trembled around my coffee mug, the ceramic warm against my palms. "Yeah, clients from out of town," she muttered, pouring herself a cup, the steam rising like a veil between us. Her phone lay face down on the counter, silent sentinel. "Chris there," I said casually, watching her freeze, spoon hovering mid-stir. She laughed it off, forced and brittle. "Of course he's on the team." "Why?" "Just wondering about my shirt," I replied, smiling thinly, the words tasting like ash. Her eyes widened fractionally, a flicker of panic, but she recovered, busying herself with breakfast. The day dragged, a haze of normalcy masking the storm. At work, blueprints blurred on my screen, my mind elsewhere. Planning. I Googled private investigators on my lunch break, fingers hovering over the call button, heart racing. Moral conflict warred within. Was this stooping to her level? Destroying our family for vengeance? But the obsession won, a dark seed sprouting. That evening, as she tucked the kids in, I hired one. Anonymous, discreet. "Follow her," I said into the phone, voice low in the garage, the scent of oil and dust grounding me. "I need proof." Weeks blurred into a slow burn of suspense, each day a tightrope walk. Elena grew distant, her touches perfunctory, conversations laced with unspoken accusations. "You're acting weird," she said one night over dinner, fork scraping her plate, the sound grating like nails on chalkboard. "Me. You're the one vanishing every other night." I shot back, voice rising before I caught myself, glancing at the kids' wide eyes. We argued in whispers later in the bedroom, her denying everything, tears glistening. "I love you, Mark. Why can't you trust me?" Manipulation, pure and layered. Her voice cracking just right, eyes pleading. But I saw the cracks. The way she clutched her phone, the faint scent of cologne on her collar, not mine. The PI's reports trickled in via encrypted email, photos attached. Her and Chris at a cafe, hands intertwined, checking into a motel, laughter shared. Each image was a punch to the gut, fueling the fire. Humiliation morphed into cold calculation. I'd bide my time, gather more. Inner thoughts raced. What if I confronted her now? Screamed, raged. No, that was weakness. Revenge needed precision, a scalpel, not a hammer. One rainy afternoon, as thunder rumbled outside my office window, water streaking the glass like tears, I found the shirt in her closet. Blue, wrinkled, a strand of his dark hair caught in the collar. Proof incarnate. Fury boiled, but I suppressed it, folding it neatly, planning. That night she texted again. "Another late one." "Sorry," I replied. "No problem. Say hi to Chris for me." The dots danced, then vanished. Suspense coiled tighter. As part one neared its close, the tension peaked in quiet moments. Me alone in the study, staring at divorce papers I'd printed but not signed, guilt warring with resolve. What about the kids? Could I shatter their world? But betrayal's sting outweighed it. Elena wasn't the woman I'd married. She was a stranger, layered with lies. And Chris. He'd pay too. The plan formed, shadowy and morally gray. Expose them, but cleverly, letting their own actions unravel them. Little did I know, the twist waited in the wings. The air in the garage was thick with the smell of gasoline and old cardboard boxes, stacked like forgotten memories against the wall. I sat on a stool, the divorce papers spread before me on the workbench, pen in hand, hesitating. It had been 2 months since that first text, and the slow burn had charred my soul. Every night, Elena's absences gnawed at me. Her excuses thinner than the veil of our marriage. The PI's final report lay beside the papers. Timestamps, addresses, even audio snippets from a bug I'd planted in her car. Moans, whispers of "I love you" not meant for me. Heartbreak had hardened into obsession, a cold armor shielding the raw wounds beneath. But doubt lingered, a whisper in the quiet. Was revenge worth the fallout? The kids' laughter echoed from the house, innocent and piercing. Lily's school play tomorrow, Tommy's soccer game. Could I rob them of stability? Moral conflict raged. Fantasies shifting from violent outbursts to calculated strikes. Expose her at work. Ruin Chris's career. Or something more personal, twisting the knife in their secret world. Elena arrived home late again. Heels clicking on the hardwood like accusations. She found me in the kitchen, nursing a beer, the bottle sweating cold beads onto the counter. "You're up," she said, surprise flickering before the mask slipped back. "Couldn't sleep," I replied, voice even though resentment simmered. "How was dinner?" "Fine. Tiring." She avoided my eyes, hanging her coat, the fabric rustling softly. I slid the shirt across the counter. Blue, accusing. "Found this. Thought Chris might miss it." Her face paled, the color draining like water from a punctured balloon. "Mark, it's not." "Save it," I cut in, anger flashing hot before I reined it in. Dialogue needed to build tension, not explode it. "I've known for weeks. The hotels, the texts, everything." She crumpled onto a stool, tears welling, hands trembling as she reached for mine. "It was a mistake. Stress at work, you being distant. I love you, Mark. We can fix this." Manipulation again, layered with guilt, hers and mine. Part of me wanted to believe, to forgive, but the humiliation replayed. Her laughter with him, bodies entwined. "Love. You call this love?" My voice cracked, authentic pain seeping through. We talked or argued into the night, voices hushed to spare the kids. She admitted it. 6 months, an emotional affair turned physical. Chris was exciting, an escape from routine. But she swore it was over, begged for another chance. I feigned consideration, heart pounding with suppressed rage. Inside, the plan solidified. Not divorce yet, but exposure. Poetic justice. The next day I called Chris. Number from the PI's report. He answered on the third ring, voice smooth, unsuspecting. "Harlan speaking. It's Mark. Elena's husband." Silence stretched, taut as a wire. "We need to talk about my shirt. And my wife." He stammered. "Look man, it's not what you think. Meet me at O'Malley's bar. 7 p.m. Or I go to your boss with everything." Blick. Suspense built in the hours leading up, my mind racing through scenarios. Confrontation, violence? No, colder. The bar was dimly lit, the air hazy with cigarette smoke despite the ban, glasses clinking like distant thunder. Chris sat in a booth, fidgeting, his gym-toned frame slouched. He looked smaller up close, eyes darting, moral complexity evident. Not a monster, just a weak man chasing thrills. "You stole my wife," I said, sliding in opposite, voice low, the wooden table sticky under my palms. "It wasn't like that," he protested, words tumbling. "She pursued me. Said you two were done." Lies or half-truths. Anger flared, but I leaned in, building tension. "I want details. All of it." He spilled, haltingly. Stolen lunches, hotel trysts, promises of leaving me. Each word was a dagger, but I listened, recording covertly on my phone hidden in my pocket. Guilt flickered in his eyes. He had a fiancée, unbeknownst to Elena. Layers upon layers. "I ended it," he claimed. "Told her last week. But I knew better. The PI caught them 2 days ago." "Liar," I whispered, sliding photos across the table. Grainy, damning. His face crumpled, fear raw. "What do you want?" he asked, voice breaking. "Nothing. Yet." I left, heart racing, the night air cool on my flushed skin. Revenge's first thread woven. Back home, Elena waited, anxious. "Where were you?" "Out." I poured wine, glasses clinking, atmosphere thick. "Thinking about us." Relief softened her features, but suspicion lingered. We made love that night. Desperate, charged. Her body familiar yet foreign, sense mingling with betrayal's aftertaste. Inner conflict peaked. Was this reconciliation or reconnaissance? Obsession drove me. I needed her to feel secure before the strike. Days passed in fragile truce, tension simmering beneath. I hacked her email, easy, shared passwords from better times. Found love notes to Chris, deleted but recoverable. Printed them, stashed away. Foreshadowing built. Odd glances from neighbors, whispers at work. Had rumors spread. The climax brewed at the company gala. Black tie affair in a glittering ballroom. Chandeliers casting diamond light on polished floors, laughter echoing off marble walls. Elena in a red dress, stunning, arm linked with mine. Chris across the room, avoiding us, fiancé on his arm. Blonde, oblivious. Toasts flowed, champagne fizzing. During Elena's boss's speech, I slipped away, heart thundering. In the coat room I planted the evidence. Photos, emails, tucked into Chris's jacket pocket, addressed to his fiancée. Subtle, deniable. Back at the table, Elena leaned in, whispering, "This could be a new start." I smiled, cold resolve stealing me. "It will be." The twist hit like lightning. As dessert arrived, Chris's fiancée stormed out, sobbing, papers clutched. She'd found them early. Chaos erupted, shouts, accusations. Chris chased her, Elena paling as realization dawned. "You!" she hissed at me, eyes wide with horror. "Me," I confirmed, voice steady amid the din. But guilt crashed in, the kids, the public humiliation. Was this justice or destruction? In the aftermath, divorce loomed, custody battles brewing. Elena moved out, resentment burning in her farewell glare. Chris lost his job, fiancé gone. Victory tasted bitter, obsession fading to emptiness. Yet the final twist. A letter arrived weeks later, anonymous. Photos of me with my secretary years ago, a one-night mistake I'd buried. Elena's handwriting on the envelope. Revenge circled back, poetic and shattering. Heartbreak renewed, I stared at the evidence, realizing betrayal's web ensnared us all. Moral grayness enveloped me. No heroes, only humans, broken and vengeful. In the quiet house, phone buzzing ignored, I whispered to the void. "Touché." The cycle complete, suspense dissolved into weary resolve.